Well, hey everybody, my name is Rob Satcham and we are Feedbackwrench. We help small businesses and specifically we like to help a lot of accountants build excellent websites with marketing, messaging. We do the writing for you, and if you take a look at our sites, I think you're going to see that they're fantastic. Now, this is 7 steps to excellent search engine optimization for accounting firms, SEO for bookkeeping firms. If you're trying to drive organic traffic to your website, and maybe you've done your own site or whatever that is, I want to give away some free information here just to help you out, because I really believe that if we pay it forward, you'll be more likely to connect with us. Now, just so you know, we have an 11-step process that we go through to make sure that you get fantastic sales-oriented, customer-focused messaging for your website. We build fantastic custom websites. We don't use this CPA site solution or these click funnels or these template-based systems. We build really good story brand-based websites too. That's the other thing. We go through this brand scripting process. But anyways, here's 7 specific things that you can bring to your CPA firm, whether you're a staff person at a larger firm or whatever that is. I'd love it if you'd connect with us here at Feedbackwrench, but here's 7 specific things. So right off the bat, we're going to be covering a couple things. So you might be wondering how to rank on Google as a CPA firm, or how to get your bookkeeping business to rank on Google. And that's actually a huge thing. You might be wondering how to drive organic traffic to your accounting firm website, how a CPA firm or bookkeeping firm can outrank your competitor in Google search. That's huge. Most of you are regional folks, right? And you're trying to get leads to come in and trying to beat out your competitors. And I'm going to show you the 7 fundamentals to actually do that. And then we're going to talk about how to improve Google Maps, Google My Business, and really dominate there. And then the last thing is how to get business clients. That's the main thing, right? All of us want to drive more business clients. Now, why should you listen to me? Go check out my other videos. I got a ton of videos on here. Now, we help construction businesses. We help all sorts of organizations. We do websites, ads, and we do advertising is huge. And then we do a lot of search engine optimization. We help you write articles that rank in Google and help you drive customers, right? We will fill your sales funnel. And we do it for more than just accountants, but if you check out my YouTube video here or my YouTube channel, you'll see all sorts of content for you. So let's dive right into it. So number 1, you got to have a website done right. SEO starts with a website that's technically sound, that has excellent user interface, like how you actually use it, and actually satisfies people's queries. That's the foundation, right? If people search and you're going to get found, you better actually answer the question, right? Or be a good solution. So now if your website is littered with technical problems, it's going to struggle to rank on Google or Bing. So some of the technical things that you'll want to work through here. You might want to take notes on this or check out the blog post in the description. So number 1, you're going to want to use Google Page Speed Checker and work to make sure that every page loads really fast. Really what you're trying to find out is, do you have huge images on there that are making your page load slowly? Number 2, you got to have meta titles and meta descriptions that clearly and succinctly communicate to users what your pages are about, your homepage, your services pages, your blogs, everything. You need to have a good structure and organization to your website. There's actually an ontology, a home page, an about page, a services page, each service getting their own page. You got to have a reviews, a contact button. You'll want to have schema markup. There's a bunch of different things. You're going to want to create various navigation paths to the pages, like your service pages, so that all main pages are never more than 1 click away. Your bookkeeping page should never be more than 1 click away from your blog posts or your YouTube videos or whatever that looks like. Now, you'll also want to add what's called schema markup, specifically local schema markup. You'll want to title your website and your page clearly so that Google understands what's going on. And then you'll want to work an excellent messaging, value proposition, and design so that people actually take a step with you. Google's not going to rank you high if people aren't actually reading your content and moving through it. And then last, number 8 here, you want to create content that engages and provides various next steps to keep people engaged in reading your website. That's huge. Now, at the core of search engine optimization is this one fact. Google rewards excellent solutions to queries. And you can't keep good content down. I'm telling you, if you just make good content, you're going to rank in SEO. If your website has content that draws in users and really engages with people and keeps them reading, your website and other pages are going to start to rank in Google eventually. You can't hold it down. Part of why Google is so good is because it's excellent at finding great solutions to queries and then bringing them to users. So number 1, it starts with a great website. Number 2, you have to set up all your profiles and all your listings. The next thing that's going to help a lot is with search engine optimization and just prominence on the web. for a CPA firm, bookkeeping firm, or whatever, is that you need to set everything up. We want to show that you're a legit and prominent business. And part of that is going to be opening up all the relevant profiles, right? Everything that's available. And then you want to point them back to your website while simultaneously publishing precisely titled profiles, right? So we need to publish the profiles and then title them right. Your company, like the company title. So, Feedbackwrench, web design and marketing, or I have Stance, CPA, tax and accounting, right? That's a title. That title, the phone number, your email address, and the description of your business should be consistent across every single profile on the internet. So what are the biggest profiles, the most important citations when it comes to SEO for bookkeeping firms or for accounting firms? So number one, your Google My Business is huge, and your website, right? You need to hit this consistency of titling across all these, and you need to get them open. So Google My Business, Bing Places, Apple Maps, Yelp, your QuickBooks Pro Advisor profile, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Manta, and YouTube. Those are like the biggest ones. So again, Google My Business, Bing Places, Apple Places, Yelp, QuickBooks, Pro Advisor, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Manta, YouTube. You want to open all these profiles and fill them out completely and ensure that you point them back to your website. Make sure that they're actually filled out. Get as much of that information on there. So not only should you be pointing your website, but you want to make sure that you put them in the footer of your website as well. And you want to link to them in your footer by placing like an outbound link to that major profile in your footer of the website. You're going to be able to send the signal to Google that this is you. The other thing, there's a way to add what's called local schema markup that includes the link to those profiles, so that in the end, if people were to do a branded search, which is, let's just say you actually search Feedbackwrench, right? And when you search Feedbackwrench, what you're going to see is my whole page is filled with my profiles, my content, everything that I do, because Google, Bing, and search engines understand that it's all associated with me. So you're going to want to set up these profiles, point them all back, have them titled consistently. That's number two. Now, number three of these 7 steps is to open your Google My Business and your Bing Places and really invest into it, right? This is huge. Google My Business and Bing Places are going to become the 2 most important local SEO drivers for your accounting firm. Your goal is to set them up and then develop your Google My Business profile into the most dominant profile in the 20 to 30 mile region around your address. So now, how do you develop and improve your Google My Business for this local SEO? So number one, it's pretty simple. Fill it out completely and accurately. Number 2 is to get more reviews than everybody else. That is huge. And I'm telling you, if you work on reviews, eventually you will suck all the oxygen out of your region. You will literally crush your competitors if you have way more reviews than them. Number 3, you got to get lots of photos onto the profile. So download the app, the Google My Business app, be publishing photos and actually take time to invest into that. You want to make posts on the system. And then last, you want to build backlinks to your website and your Google My Business. So one of the factors of prominence in the Google My Business, like how to expand your local search, talks about this prominence factor. So you're going to want to make sure that you're actually building up backlinks to your website. Your website drives your Google My Business traffic as well. So the 2 most important things is to get more reviews compared to your competitors, and then build up your overall SEO signals to your website and your brand. So why is this so important? Accounting, tax, bookkeeping, and advisory service, they all have local search features. When you search them, a little map pops up. If you're in a 20 to 30 mile region, you can actually rank. Now that's great because you'll be able to show up for all the business, like the local businesses, all the construction guys, all of the home services companies, all your local small businesses. You'll be able to show up and actually have a chance compared to these big national firms, right? Because locality is important to bookkeepers. So let's hit on some of these keywords that locality is important to. You have business accountants near me, bookkeeping services, bookkeepers near me, business taxes near me, tax professionals near me, tax accountant near me, CPA firm near me, CPA firms, CPAs near me, accounting companies near me, payroll companies near me, bookkeeping companies near me. This is just meant to get you going. And there's a huge list of accountant website or keywords that are super important, but they drive local traffic. So you have to invest in your Google My Business. And then on Microsoft devices, you don't even know you're using Bing. So you have to open that Bing Places and actually develop that. And then that usually shows your Facebook reviews. So don't neglect your Facebook reviews. In all, you want to get reviews on your website. You want to get reviews and testimonials, or reviews on Google My Business, reviews and testimonials on your website. That should be photos. It should have videos. It should have everything. And then Facebook is also important. So Invest in the Google My Business in the big places for local SEO. That's how you really enhance your SEO and how you actually drive clicks to your website. Like, it's huge. And how you get local clients. So number 4, you got to get your service pages done right and do them big time. So there's a ton of keywords for an accounting firm, right? It's not like you just want to have accountant near me. You need to rank for payroll companies near me, bookkeepers near me. You might want to get like real estate tax accounting near me, tax accountants, business tax accountants. You might want to put in niche keywords, but there's different services and there's different core commercial keywords that you need to focus on. And I'll just tell you what, each of those services performs a little bit different on the SERPs, or the search engine result pages, right? And so some of the things that you're going to have to do is invest in your services pages. Okay, so every service should have a page. You should have one page that houses all your services, and then every service has its own page. You want to invest into those. You want to have tons of content about that service on that page, including frequently asked questions specifically for that service. You want to have main topics that you teach on. You want to have core questions that you're actually going to hit on. You want to just teach. Be on that site and talk about the benefits and the problems, solutions, and benefits that result when you do that service for them, right? You want to have lots of real and helpful copywriting down towards the bottom of the page, good calls to action, images and user interface tools so that it's really helpful, showing reviews, just different things that are important for users. And then the bottom line is meta titles and meta descriptions, which will show up on the Google search engine result pages. So you want to make sure that you get all that on those services pages. And another important thing is to make sure that you have navigation throughout your entire website. And in the main navigation, the footer, the sidebars, and pretty much every page should have navigation pointing to your core service pages. You want these core service pages to never be more than one click away from a piece of content on your website, and you're going to want to build up backlinks to all those. As we hit on backlinks, there's a thing called internal linking for SEO. Now, when you write additional blog posts or content anywhere on your website or anywhere across the web, you should also try to hyperlink to your own core pages or your own work, pointing links inside of your site to your own site, but within actual written content, right? Now, this is called internal linking. And when it's done inside of the context of like real authoritative content, like content that actually matters, that starts to get crawled, it's going to point back to your website and help a ton to communicate what's most important to your website, and people will actually click on it. So remember, SEO is really about people. It's not necessarily about the bots or the robots or the web crawler, right? You want internal linking to your core content throughout your entire site. So that's huge. So that's number 4, is invest in your services pages. And the result isn't necessarily that your service page shows up. It's that your Google My Business will rank for more service keywords. Now, number 5, you got to hook up your search console and your sitemaps. Now, both Google and Bing have a place where you will actually hook up your website to their system so that they get crawled consistently, and you can notify Google about new pages, new blog posts, new content, new information, right? The system to hook up your website is called Google Search Console and Bing Search Console, or the Webmaster Console. The first thing that you should do is to open up your Google and then your Bing Search Console and Webmaster, and then create a property and submit your sitemap. You're actually going to hook it up to it. So Search Console will show Google and Bing what's actually happening on your website. That's huge. You got to get that hooked up. I would encourage you to put Google Analytics and some of the other tools. We do all this for you, just so you know when you sign up for us. So number 6, this is the real SEO right here, okay? Content and answering queries. You want your website to rank for core commercial keywords, right? So accountants near me, CPA firms, bookkeeping services, payroll companies, CFO services, outsourced CFO, construction accountants near me. Those are core commercial take action keywords, right? But you also want individual pages to rank for more important keywords, right? So if you think about your sitemap, you have your home page, your about page, your content page, then you have your services pages. But now you need to create other answers to more queries. If you do not create blogs and pages that answer questions, you're never going to rank for these other search queries. And there's a ton of them that matter to you. You should invest into blogging and content creation, because it will advance your ability to answer these questions, and it transforms you into a dominant ranking force in your accounting, CPA, and bookkeeping industry in your region and in every niche and across the website. You have to create content that that are authoritative, right? Your content should be helpful. It should be engaging and actually help people so that they choose to consume the content that you create. The ultimate test for whether or not your content is good for SEO is whether people are actually reading it and how users are responding to it. It's not like the markup on Ahrefs or any of these SEO tools. You should be paying attention to your average time on page in your Google Analytics, and then checking out whether or not people are reading your content. Are they scrolling down? You want to find out, are people actually reading it? Because ultimately, when you invest in content, whether that's YouTube videos or that's a blog post, if people are actually listening to it, actually reading it, you can't hold it down. Your blog post and your website will start to rank for those. Now, the last thing is backlinks. The last and most important step to accounting firm SEO, bookkeeping SEO, search engine optimization for tax firms, CPA firms, accountants, whatever that is helping get votes of confidence in the form of backlinks. A backlink is when another website hyperlinks to yours as a source or a citation to their readers. Every backlink from another website to yours is essentially a vote of confidence and shows how prominent your website and information really is across the net. How do you build up lots of good backlinks? It's not easy, but the best way is to create excellent content that can actually serve as a source for other people's writing. It used to be that you do a lot of manual outreach and work really hard to build up a ton of backlinks. We're at a point now where if you start investing in answering questions, giving tips and advice as blog posts, other people writing blog posts will find your information and link to it. That's really what it is. So what types of content attract backlinks? You have research and data. So if you were to just start doing some research, maybe about the types of clients you have, bring something interesting to the table, highlight some data and some information, that usually gets backlinks. Steps on how to do things and articles that show how to do it. If you were to just talk about QuickBooks, for example, there's about 9,000 different articles you could write about QuickBooks for certain industries, construction, whatever it is. And then also any teaching or explaining that you have, and then original graphs and graphics and infographics. Usually if you have an article, your articles have to be good to read though. You cannot just start spamming content. Your content needs to actually be engaging. So besides creating that content, you can also build relationships and even collaborate with other websites in order to build up backlinks. And really, it's important to know that with backlinks and authoritative websites, it separates you from the spam, right? Do not pay money to go get spam backlinks either. You want real, authentic backlinks. Don't fall for these SEO companies that reach out to you and have all these scammy ways to get you all these backlinks. If a website is building backlinks for you and you look at the list and it's literally a bunch of spam nonsense, it ain't going to help. It's not going to work, right? If you wanted to, you can invest into backlinks and outreach and even find other websites, right, to backlink to you, but really create good content. If you just create good content, you promote it and maybe build some relationships with local small businesses around you, it's going to work. So if you like the idea of investing into content, blog posts, YouTube videos like this, anything like that, we have a service where we do that. But we also take accounting firms and we help you set up a website that actually converts, that has fantastic sales-oriented messaging, that ranks in Google SEO, that has advertising that will remarket to them. We set that up anywhere between about $500 to $10,000, depending on how big of a setup you want. We'd love to help you. Call and schedule with us. Good luck. God bless. Like and subscribe if this is helpful.